All right. Ethan, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. What about yourself?
As good as I can be.
Oh, what's the matter?
Just, job stuff and things. So,
Hmm.
there we go.
Need to in clear my desk.
Yeah.
Bunch of crap on it. And the lower voltage bulb. Oh well. I don't look too washed out. That's good.
Yeah, I fully feel that being one of the whitest men alive, having any direct sunlight on me.
Oh, if I was in a dark cave and there was a single beam of sunlight coming through it and I stuck my head in, just illuminate the entire place.
I've told people before, like, if I wanted to, I could just take off my shirt and blend into a white wall. Hmm.
I've seen a few videos of guys like in a cave and like it's like dark and one guy lifts his shirt and it's just like radiating light, just like
A
I'm
SpongeBob.
blind.
My eyes!
My eyes. Bald, bald, bald.
All right. Is the ambiance coming through the stream now, or is it still too quiet? It might be getting removed by the background noise remover.
Was that a question for me or for the stream?
That was for my mod.
Gotcha.
Not getting any answer just yet, so I'll assume it's just not going through. So I'm gonna actually remove that filter because I want the stream to actually hear things. How about now? Okay, so, yep, no filter on that then, because that was stopping it from being able to. Alright, which means I can actually turn the ambiance back down. again because I don't want it to overwhelm everybody else. So, yeah, I just turned it down. I think that volume will work. All right. Then I believe we are ready to get started.
Okie dokie.
So that's in prepped well. Everything looks like it's good. Still a bit too loud compared to you guys. Okay. How about now? Okay. There we go. Then we are ready to get started on this episode's character intro. And for this today, we have a lovely guest, Seymour
Thank you.
Seaborn. So, Seymour, give us a little bit about yourself.
Seymour is a Asimar, but he looks more like either a sea elf or a water genasi by first glance. Um, he hails from the Shining Sea, from the country of Talashar, in the south of southwest Faerun. Um, he has the sailor and is a captain of a cargo ship, sailing ship called the Blushing Albatross. Um, he other descriptors, he's about 5'6", 5'7", sky blue skin with white hair. Um, I can't think of anything else. What else should I tell the people about Seymour?
Uh, what does he typically wear? What is he typically seen in?
Um, he's typically wearing his sailing attire. He's kind of a bit flamboyant with his clothing as well. He has like one puffy sleeve that has like frills all through it, and he's got like um, a ribbon sash as a belt that kind of flows perpetually behind him, even if there is no wind. Um, he wears his he wears a pirate's hat that he stole from one of his less favored um, enemies, and he just wears that as a trophy over that very small victory. Um, and he has daggers hidden in many places that kind of just blend into his attire. They just look like embellishments, but secretly they got daggers hiding somewhere.
All right. And if you would give us a little bit about what has Seymour's life been like up to this point? What is he doing?
Prior to joining the Eyes of the Fallen, he worked on a cargo ship as a captain, delivering goods between Talashar and Waterdeep. That was his most common route. And during those many a voyage, he was approached by the guildmaster of the Eyes of the Fallen and was asked if he was willing to join their guild, become the captain of the Blushing Albatross, to help bring back artifacts from far off lands that can only be reached by sea, to make it transports just a tinge bit easier. And because of his vast knowledge of the sea, how to navigate it safely and also how to avoid pirates at all costs.
All right.
Other background information: he has a human father and a sea elf mother, who is the mortal daughter of the sea god Deep Shayalis, which was where his Asimar birthright came from, if that makes sense. That's why he looks more sea elf slash water genasi than he does human, because of that celestial ascendancy. Um, he's also out for revenge against a pirate that killed his father, um, by the name of Captain Beatrice Scarlet Mane Corrigan, who is a pirate queen, and he just wants to, you know, get revenge. Simple as that. This is a means to an end for him to get justice for his departed father. Um, what else? What else can I say? He's a bit of a flirt, pretty witty, pretty charismatic, even with a very low charisma score. But he thinks he's doing the best he can. Um, he has a bit of sarcasm as well. He will not take anyone's bullshit. He knows what to do on the high sea. If anyone questions his captainry or sailing skills, he will let them know very harshly that they are in the wrong. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all that I can think of as for now. Let's look at some notes if there's anything I'm missing. Da, 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 da. Um, mhm. Yep, that's pretty much it. Can't think of anything else. I think I covered most bases.
All right. Then let's go back in time a little bit. Back to
Mhm.
the night when you first met with the guild mistress. Uh, Out in Waterdeep on the docks, there's a.
Before going to
Whoa.
bed, I kid you not,
No.
I put a.
Why is that playing? No. I hope that doesn't get me taken down, but. So, let's see, where is. Ah. The. Within the dock ward of Waterdeep, the Sailor's Corner is a rather well known spot for sailors to find rest between voyages out to distant lands or making port within the town. It is a two-story inn that sits just outside of the dock on Dock Street. And it's not exactly the inn of most repute, but it is serviceable. It's better than the galley of a ship. Uh, so a good many sailors find their way here to either break bread with their crew or to find rest on dry land. And it's similar to those sailors what you find for the night. Uh, Having just taken a long voyage and now having no plans for the next one or anything really in mind for the next day. And I'd say it's in this inn that you would see a woman, hair, dark, almost raven black, pulled up into a very tight bun, wearing what appears to be a men's jacket over top of a navy blue vest that has gold filigree going across the front of it. The jacket mostly covering it, but you're able to notice bits that are sticking out from that. And as she looks around this inn, you can see that her face, it's a hard face to get age off of. Anywhere between young to late 40s. But the ears really point it off that this is a elven woman with a patch over her right eye. You can see coming out from the patch, extending about a 3/4 up her forehead and the length of her cheek. Under this eye patch, there is a long, jagged scar that runs across. But her left eye, you can see, is a deep violet. Almost seems to shimmer in the light. And as she looks around, she stops on you. What would Seymour be doing in this inn at this time? You'd just recently come off of a long voyage, and most of the crew has scattered throughout the dock ward.
She will see him knitting. He likes to knit. Legs up on the table, leaning back, pint of ale on the table, and he's just knitting a scarf, minding his own business.
Minding your own business, you don't notice it at first, but you soon notice the pair of dark leather boots that seem to go almost the entire length of her calf come into your view from the angle that you're at from while you're knitting. And glancing over, you see the woman now standing in front of you, looking around, not seeing anyone sitting near you. And she says, excuse me. Is this seat, motioning to a seat across from you, currently taken?
By all means, take a seat. I'm not using it. Doesn't have my name on it.
Thank you. As she sits down into the seat and glances over you a bit with her good left eye. It has been some time since I last saw one of the sea. But I knew of some good folk. Tell me, do you happen to know any of the sea elves of... But I forget that name.
Let's make it up.
Do you know any of the sea elves of Ulgaris?
Laris? No idea. The only sea elf I know is my mother.
It's a shame. They were good people. Tell me, how long has it been since you've been in port?
We left Telashar 5 days ago, and we've only just arrived about 5 hours ago, so maybe a good 7 days. Because we did have to take a pit stop in the Stormwreck Isles. I know we had to go further north to get to here, but I had unfinished business there, so that's why it took us so long. So, a week. We've been at sea for a week, give or take.
And Are you on any manifests to head out after?
My schedule is bone dry. I have no obligations. All my cargo has been delivered. I'm a free man, kind of.
Hmm. Then I think that I have something just for you.
Pray tell.
I have a guild that I run, and we are in need of someone to transport items from far off lands back. Though, I will have to say, the journey is the least of the danger that you may face.
Hmm. Tempting, tempting. What will it involve?
We have a ship, but no captain. I've known no better captains than the sea elves. So, how would you feel to be captain of your own ship?
It'll be good to own my own ship instead of having to use one of the bastards from Teleshar to rent out a ship or be commanded to sail a ship. So, what would be the fairest price? How much will I be paid? Or giving my services up for free?
At that, she kind of smiles. I know this all too well, but it will be less of a time paid and more based off of travel. The pay will change based off of what we require of you.
Understandable. You're not one of those thief guilds, are you? Or something worse?
No, no, no. Some have tried to compare us to that. We are, and she takes out a sheaf of paper, this parchment that she sets down and slides across the table towards you. We are a guild known as the Eyes of the Fallen. All we seek to do is find powerful magic items, bring them back, and protect them from those that would use them for less than favorable goals.
Ah, Eyes of the Fallen. I've heard the rammerings of you guys before. You don't like pirates, neither do I. So, I think I might take you up on this offer. Finding artifacts is part of one of my favorite things to do. One of the favorite things I used to do with my mother. Scour the beach, try to find treasures that washed up on shore.
Then I will need you to
I
fill out that.
accept.
Then I will need you to fill out that paper and
Mhm.
come by in the morning. But I need you to also know one thing.
That be.
We have a few others that we've sent word out to, that we have recruited. We will have to see a show of skill. And in order for you to do that, I will need you to join up with this group and show us that you are capable. Working together is going to be paramount to having full delivery of these precious goods.
I guess that's what will have to happen. And if they are ready to take orders from a captain, I'm sure everything will be moved smoothly.
As long as the captain has
Fully.
earned their respect, there should be no issues.
Of course. Of course. What is a captain without respect of themselves and of the crew or other members that sail upon their boat?
I'd say that captain is a pirate. And she stands. You see as she stands that the men's jacket that she wears, you now see it is less armed through wearing and more draped over her shoulders. But it begins to shimmer and change from this men's jacket to a navy blue cloak. Gold filigree along the back of it, and as she turns, you see a large silver eye on the back of it. And she says, "You'll find us outside of Waterdeep, about a 20-minute walk from here. So, when you are done and you have rested for the night, come see us in the morning."
I suppose I will. Good night, old mistress.
Good night. And with that, she waves a hand, and as she does, her form begins to shimmer and then fade, as if sea mist being blown off the tide.
Magic. Typical.
Do you read over the paper?
Yes,
Okay.
in detail. He's very meticulous when it comes to reading documents.
Reading over this paper, go ahead and give me a investigation check.
Sure thing, boss. Da, 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 da. Investigation.
Looking over this document, you see that it is essentially a recruitment contract. It states the rules and expectations of members of the guild, what your responsibilities will be, though this one does amend saying that you are to be the captain of the my brain slowed down for like 30 seconds. Captain of the Blushing Albatross. It also states that it also requests a fill out of essentially your class, your age, lineage, and what gender you are. It does give the option to give a like NA in things that you don't necessarily wish to give out just yet. But looking over the document, you can see that this is a fairly competent document. The writing in it made to not necessarily give away everything that is going to happen in the guild, but also give people a reasonable expectation.
Seymour will shout to one of his crewmates, one of his underlings. Jackson, bring me a quill.
You see a human man about late teens, pushing into early 20s, come rushing over with a quill and ink pot as he looks to you and says, so where are you going?
It looks like, my boy, I'm going on an adventure. One that might kill me, but that's the life of the sea. Your duties are... You are free of your duties. You may stay in port and see if another captain will take you, but you are free of me.
You can see there's... Go ahead and give me a... Tell me how you've been as a captain. How have you been to your crew?
Well, I would like to believe Seymour is a very just and caring and wise captain. He treats his crew as if they were his own flesh and blood. And he doesn't get angry that often with his crew. His crew's very sturdy and experienced. Except for obviously the underlings that are recently joined. Then he's a bit more stern with them to make sure they fall in line and get things done properly.
All right, then. Looking... Give me a insight check.
Sure thing. 7.
7. You've worked with this man for a while, but still hard to read. But he gives you a small nod and says, "Oh, well, all right then. There was talk of another ship to go to Baldur's Gate, so I might hop onto that crew."
I hope the journey is pleasant and safe. Just know when I return, you can always come back. When I return to my day job, as I said, you're more than welcome to rejoin my crew. Just for now, a bigger fish has come on my line, and I must chase after it. If that makes sense.
He kind of nods and then turns and walks off. You know what? Go ahead and give me a perception check.
A 4.
Never mind. So, you have your ink and your quill. Do you sign?
I do sign.
Alright. As you sign, you see this flash of blue light come from your signature and then go dull.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And resting for the night. You wake the next morning fairly early and can make your way to the Eyes of the Fallen Guild Hall.
I do so.
Alright. making your way there, you're able to see that. Also, you don't have to be in above VTT. We're not going to be using the map. I'm just in it so I can see dice roll. But
Gotcha.
if that's draining some of your internet. But you do
Everything's good.
you do see that in front of you there is a large mansion with two wings coming off of it, a stable house to the left, and in front the white marbled walls holding two banners that go as almost guardian post along the door that shows the interior. These blue banners holding the same navy blue with gold filigree that has the large silver eye on it that the guild mistress had worn previously and had shown. The door is a large oaken door, and you can see not through the windows, as it looks as if the interior of this place has been completely darkened, as if there's no life within. And stepping close, you hear nothing within through this thick oaken door.
Seymour will cast light on I don't know, on his glove that he's wearing to like illuminate his way forward, outstretching his hand to navigate the darkness.
So you open the door?
Yes.
As soon
And
as
open the door.
As soon as you open the door, light still going on in your fingertips. The place is active. There are members walking around, talking. A few you see at the interior of this building has four long wooden tables that stretch the entire length of this hall. In the back is a back counter area that four people stand behind. But the interior of this room is warmly lit. There's a friendly, almost aura of the place as members laugh, eat, joke. You see a few sitting there sharpening blades, a large minotaur man currently sharpening a big, brutal battle axe with one hand, looking around. Though you do notice that there is on his long horn style horns a pink bow tied to the horn. You also see a purple skinned tiefling sitting at one of the tables, currently looks as though there is just a stump on their arm right at the elbow, as if they had lost their part of their arm previously to something. You'd also notice that there is a half-elven woman with light olive skin and black wild curls currently falling in her face, blocking you from being able to see more of what she would look like. And then a halfling sitting at one of the tables a little bit away from the rest of the people, with light skin and brown curly hair, fairly small person with dark green eyes that you can see coming from underneath a hooded cloak that watch his surroundings carefully. You do notice that in the back at the counter there appears to be several stacks of paper that the 4 people are currently working at.
I'll approach the bench and place my signed document upon it.
There are 4 people. There's a tiefling, a elven man, elven woman, and a dwarvish man standing behind the counter. Which
I'll
one
go.
do you approach?
I approach the dwarf.
Approach the dwarf. Okay. As you set down the paper on the counter, the dwarf kind of looks up to you and then looks to the paper and says, "Ah, so we got a new recruit already. Well, let's
Chose it be.
take a look at this. Alright, so it looks like everything here has been documented well. Seymour Seaborn, his family had quite the naming convention, alright." And he sets the paper down before shuffling through some of the other papers, and as he does, you see him pull out a identical looking copy of your paper. Matching signature and everything filled out. The exact same. Looks like everything came through alright. Then, welcome to the Eyes of the Fallen. I don't know about pleasure to meet you, but we'll see soon. And he sets the paper back down. So, I was told to give you something. Shite. Where did I put that? And you see him begin to shuffle up underneath the counter, stepping down from his stool that let him see over it, and digging through. You hear the clank of metal, and at one point you hear something hit the floor, and he goes, "Ah, fuck," and just keeps digging before he goes, "Ah, found you, you sneaky little bastard." And he comes back up onto his stool and sets in front of you this almost to scale, fully detailed. It looks as if someone had just taken a ship from the dock, shrunk it down, and set it in front of you. And says, "Alright, so here's the blushing albatross."
This model of a ship is supposed to be the one I'm supposed to captain and sail. This, right here, on the table.
I promise you, you'll find it a little bit bigger on the inside than it looks.
Interesting. I'll take your word for it.
So, as the captain of the Blushing Albatross, I'll have to ensure that... Why am I going French? I'll have to ensure that you... Fuck. What was... Hey, Fuck. Do I really want to ask that bastard for... You see him look over and turn to the elven man. Glancing to the elven man. The dwarf, you notice, by the way, bushy black hair that's been loosely pulled back into a ponytail. full thick beard that comes down to his chest. Bits of food and crumbs you can see still inside it from his morning meal. And there are scars along his cheeks. And he looks to this elf, and the elven man is this tall, beautiful features of what you would expect from elf, but snow white eyes, almost as if fully blind, taken over by cataracts, though age does not seem to have shown on this elf just yet. Oi, Zariel. I forgot what the command phrase is for the ship. You see the man turn, look over. Well, not all of us could be expected to remember some of the finer details now, can we? You'll find that the command phrase for the ship, remember to place it in water before you speak the phrase, is, and he taps the counter and you see a etching begin to form across the countertop, and it says, sails away.
Ah, magic ship. Interesting.
That is right. Aye, it's a pretty magical ship, I can tell you that. But just remember to be careful. We don't have too many replacements.
I take good care of my ships, no worry. Don't stress too much about it.
Alright, so Guildmistress Urban, she told me to tell you to wait. There's one other member who should be showing here soon, but once they show, you'll all be called in. We have nearly all the new recruits who are going to be part of this little journey for you.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to meet them.
Go ahead, socialize, get a lay of the land, but just remember to follow the rules.
Of course, I'm a stickler for the rules. I'm a captain after all.
Alright. Good wins to you.
And to you.
And with that, we'll end our roleplay scene right here. So, what'd you think?
I really like it. Yeah. I like the magical ship.
I'll
Like
be
magical ships.
I'll be getting you that magic item here in the next few days. I will say it won't be used for a little bit.
That's fine.
So, yeah. I think we are good to end it here as a fun little intro and roleplay scene to get to know your character a little bit more.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I'd like to... I'm going to try to hold out the sea elf / water genasi kind of facade as long as I can before revealing the asama of myself. That kind of made a joke, a pun of it, an asama of myself.
Alright.
So yeah, that's the end goal, to hold out just a good long while. Make sure everyone thinks I'm a sea elf.
Alright then,
Or half sea elf.
we're gonna end the stream here, so final words. Don't forget to follow, like, comment, subscribe, all the stuff for the YouTube things. Also, thanks to Pocket Bard for being our ambiance and noise. I enjoy it so far. It's made these games a lot more fun having that just in the background and not having to worry about above VTT not liking the music, and also no copyright worries. So, we shall see y'all in the next character intro. There may be 1 to 2 more coming up in the near future, and then our first session.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it as well. See y'all.
Bye.